Shalom and greetings from Jerusalem, Jane. Never in my wildest imaginations or dreams could I ever have imagined that I would get the tremendous honor and privilege to call Israel my home for nearly 12 years. I cannot begin to express my gratitude, my excitement, the happiness and the thrill that I have felt by being able to wake up in Israel for so many years. I never, ever would have thought that all of a sudden I would become someone that people all over the world knew about, started to follow on social media. I didn't even know I was going to be on social media like this. And being someone that people thought they actually wanted to meet when they came to Israel. What a ride it has been. I know you're probably looking for a current news update because of what's happening here in Israel and because of a certain president coming to this nation tomorrow. I'm not going to give that. I am going to speak unscripted a little bit from my heart because people are asking, it's been a while since we heard about you. How are you doing, Jane? When I made my last video update, I said that God has taken me aside for a season to heal my heart, to mend a broken heart, and to try and heal and restore me from a lot of the trauma that I carried. I also said that as we were entering Rosh Hashanah and a new year, I believed that there is something more for me here in Israel and there is something new coming for me. When I arrived here in Israel that many years ago, alone with one suitcase, I had no idea what God wanted from me. I just knew He had called me to go. After spending months and months on my face in prayer, I started writing and blogging, sharing to the world what it was like to live here in Israel, because so much is happening here that you never hear about in mainstream media. It turned out that there was an audience, that people around the world, including you, are thirsty to hear about what's happening in Israel. But hey, who am I to share something? Because I don't have a journalist education. I never called myself a journalist. I just started sharing what was happening in this nation. And I can tell you, to the best of my abilities, after 12 years, I have given my all for 12 years, sharing news and views out of the Holy Land. If God had told me before I left Denmark and stepping out in faith coming here, that for the next 12 years you're going to be living with a broken heart, and you're going to be living completely traumatized, and you're stepping into the lion's den, and you're stepping into spiritual warfare like in no other nations, and you're going to be attacked like you can't imagine, physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, will you still go, Jane Keel? I would have said, bring it on. This has been the most challenging and rewarding and I don't even know how to put it into words, time of my life that I never could have foreseen. I have given my all, mentally, emotionally, and physically, speaking to you in thousands of video updates, hundreds and hundreds of live broadcasts, articles for different Israeli media outlets. I have written blogs, posts, I have shared posts, I have been interviewed to media outlets around the world. I have given my all for 12 years, and what an honor and what a privilege it has been. Quickly, I came to realize that the assignment that God gave me to come here and become someone that people were listening to would revolve around terrorism. You see, I was not a tour guide. I have not been running all over the country sharing about biblical sites. I have not been a political commentator. I have not been in high tech industry or any of that. No, God used me and my voice to literally comfort my people and share about every single terror attack that mainstream media don't care about and the dead Jews that they don't care about. For that reason, I've been living with a broken heart and a shattered soul for 12 years here in Israel, because you never really get to heal before there's another attack and another attack. In the beginning, when I came here, I was here and there and everywhere. I was at demonstrations, I was at rallies, I was at conferences, I was at press conferences, and I went to funerals of yet another terror victim who was brutally murdered for no other reason than being Jewish. For 12 years, I have done all of this by myself. There's been no co-worker, no assistant, no nothing. Except for a short period of time, I was making live broadcasts with my friend Ali before I had to report about him being brutally murdered in a terror attack. And by the way, the terrorist who murdered him has been released when we had to bring home some of our precious hostages. It's been tough. I never thought that I would weep so much as I have done. I never thought that I would be so heartbroken and have so many sleepless nights as I have had. But what a privilege it has been to be that voice out of Israel. People are telling me, Jane, we follow you because you're not Jewish, because you're not Israelis. You look with different eyes, but yet you have become one with the Jewish people and the Jewish nation. And we know your hearts, and we know you have given your all for so many years. All the video updates I have made, all the live broadcasts, all the blog posts, all the articles, I have done solely as a volunteer because, hey, I just came here as a private citizen. I'm not sent out by anyone. No church, no organizations, no foundations, no nothing. I packed up my suitcase and I came here as a private citizen, and I simply just started sharing what was happening here in Israel. So there has not been a paycheck. I have not been sent out by a firm who says you go and report from Jerusalem, Jane, like I have been doing in all of these live broadcasts and recorded broadcasts and articles. We have an apartment, the rent is paid, here's your salary, go do the job that I have done my assignments. No, I didn't get any of that. But I have been blessed, unbelievably blessed, by private people around the world who says we are blessed because of who you are and what you are doing. We are blessed for the truth you are speaking and your views out of Israel that we don't hear in mainstream media. And today, and that's why I'm making this video, my whole social media started with a Facebook page called Israel One Nation. And today we passed 300,000 followers on that page. 300,000 followers on my Facebook page, Israel One Nation. I just looked at the statistics on this site, and within the last 28 days, 6.2 million views on this page. 6.2 million views on this page, because Israel has great friends and there are people around the world who wants to hear what is happening. But as I said, as we entered this new year, I pulled back because after 12 years sitting talking like I'm doing now in the privacy of my own home, speaking to a phone, that has officially come to an end. It's a natural step after doing it that way for 12 years. It is simply too hard. It is too hard, and like I spoke to a dear friend and intercessor yesterday, and she told me nobody is supposed to do everything alone. And that's what you have been doing, giving your all faithfully for 12 years. But it's also making me constantly living below the red line of being traumatized and exhausted, because there's not a strong husband standing next to me giving love and support. And I've been single my whole life. And for those of you who have an amazing spouse, husband or wife, count your blessings. There's not been a co-worker who has been helping me. I've been doing everything by myself. And these terrorists, many times they act during the weekend, during Shabbat, which means I didn't get to rest because I was sharing about another rocket, missile, or terror attack. So this is officially coming to an end. And that's why I have pulled back, because me and the people closest to me are seeking the Lord for how is Jerusalem Jane going to move forward. I'm still waiting to see if I'm even going to stay in Israel, because I haven't heard back from the Israeli government. I applied for another year's visa. While we are waiting to hear that, and God willingly that would be granted, I'm on my face seeking the Lord how to move forward as Jerusalem Jane, so I can do much, much better and be more effective in being that voice that is still burning inside my heart in speaking up for Israel. What does the future hold? What does it look like? Where are the co-workers? Where are the new office and the equipment so I can produce much, much, much better content for you and start interviewing people? Is that the next step for me? I hope it is. I can't reveal anymore because I simply don't know anymore. But it was important for me to just share this update because so much is happening, and that's why I am quiet now. Even as a certain president is showing up tomorrow, I'm still just little on me, and even though I have a press pass, I'm never invited to any of this. Not being able to cover it because all the big names and the big news stations always get the priority. Let's see if we can change that moving forward. And that's why I'm quiet, even with all of our hostages coming home. I'm going to end this video by saying I have been living in constant trauma for I don't know how many years, because I carried the trauma from the terror attacks before October 7, and living the last 2 years here in Israel has just been so turbulent and such a roller coaster ride, and living in a pressure cooker of trauma you can't even begin to imagine or fathom. And that's what I carry, and that's what I have had God heal and restoring me, so I am able to move forward. And this video is becoming too long. So I have closed the door to just be Jerusalem Jane, doing what I'm doing now, just speaking to you from a phone. The old has been closed. I even cut off my very, very long hair. I needed something new, I needed something fresh, and I'm very happy about it. So would you pray with me, and would you pray for me and say, we have followed Jane for many years, and Jane has given her all alone, living alone, cooking alone, cleaning alone, working alone, crying alone, terror attack upon terror attack. Lord, open the right doors and show Jane what's next for her, and bring the right people into Jane's life, the right equipment, the right locations, for how I can step up, excuse me, and be better in my work for Israel. The non-Jew, the non-Israelis, the female, the one who has been working as a volunteer, solely funded by private people, saying, I want to sow I want to sow into Israel through your voice, Jane. That also needs to change a little bit moving forward, with more coming in. So there's a lot on my plate right now, and that's why I choose to be quiet, because God had set me aside right now to heal me from the hurt and pain and trauma, but also to reveal for me, Jane, what's coming next, and where are the people who's going to come on stage and help me moving forward. May God bless Israel. May our hostages come home. I am rejoicing that our hostages are coming home, but I'm also secretly crying and being outraged of all of those vile terrorists who has murdered so many Jews. They are now going to be released in order for these precious hostages to come home. So normally I would do what I have done for so many years, every day, share news updates. This is happening, this is happening, this isn't happening. Normally I would be doing that. But right now, it's silence. God is stirring something new inside of me. God is preparing whatever and whoever and wherever my future here in Israel is going to be in order to be much better and take the next natural step after doing everything alone for so many years. May God bless you. I want to thank each and every one of you who have donated to me over the years, who love me, encourage me, and who pray for me and support me. I would not be here today if it wasn't for you. I am so honored and I'm so blessed, and I honor you for that. Bye.